Hey everybody, it's Cultural Immersion. And let's be honest, who needs a fancy intro when you're about to see the most amazing places in America? We're talking bucket list destinations, the kind of spots you daydream about on your lunch break. So buckle up, because we're about to take a cross-country trip to the top 10 must-visit places in the good old US of A. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie, a history nerd, or just want to relax on a beach, we've got something for everyone. Let's do this thing. First up, we're heading to the city that never sleeps, New York City. Bright lights, Broadway shows, and enough pizza to make even the most carb-fearing tourists say, just one more slice. You've got iconic landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom that's even more impressive in person. Then there's Central Park, a giant green oasis in the middle of all the chaos. And hey, if you're feeling fancy, catch a Broadway show and try not to sing along too loudly. And don't even get me started on the food. Pizza, bagels, cheesecake. It's a culinary wonderland out there, folks. Just make sure you wear your stretchy pants. Oh, and be prepared to walk. A lot. But hey, at least you can work off all that pizza and cheesecake. Next up, we're heading southwest to Arizona to visit the Grand Canyon. Seriously, pictures do not do this place justice. You stand at the edge, look down, and suddenly, you feel very, very small. Now, you can experience the Grand Canyon in a lot of ways. Hike to the bottom, ride a mule, or take a helicopter tour for a bird's eye view. Whatever you do, just make sure you bring your camera and your sense of adventure. And hey, if you're feeling really adventurous, try the Grand Canyon Skywalk, a glass-bottomed platform that juts out over the canyon. Okay folks, buckle up because we're heading to the Golden City, San Francisco. Get ready for stunning views, charming neighborhoods, and enough sourdough bread to satisfy even the pickiest of eaters. First of all, let's talk about the Golden Gate Bridge. Walking, biking, or driving across this bridge is a must-do. And speaking of iconic, you can't go to San Francisco without visiting Alcatraz Island. This former maximum security prison housed some of the most notorious criminals in American history. Oh, and if you're a foodie, San Francisco is a dream come true. From fresh seafood to Michelin-starred restaurants, your taste buds will be doing the tango. Just make sure you bring your appetite and your wallet, because San Francisco can be a little pricey. Next up, get ready to experience the raw, untamed beauty of Yellowstone National Park. We're talking geysers erupting, bison roaming free and occasionally blocking traffic. First of all, Old Faithful. This geyser is like the Beyoncé of Yellowstone, always putting on a show. Every 90 minutes or so, it erupts in a towering plume of hot water and steam. But Yellowstone is more than just geysers. You've got the Grand Prismatic Spring, a rainbow-colored hot spring that looks like it belongs on another planet. There's Yellowstone Lake, where you can go boating, fishing, or just relax on the shore. And of course, there's the wildlife. Bison, elk, wolves, bears, you name it. Yellowstone's got it. Just remember to keep a safe distance and admire these creatures from afar. Oh, and be prepared for crowds. This place is popular, and for good reason. All right, folks, get ready to party because we're heading to Las Vegas, baby. This city is a non-stop whirlwind of casinos, shows, and enough neon lights to make your head spin. First things first, the Strip. This iconic stretch of Las Vegas Boulevard is home to some of the most over-the-top hotels and casinos in the world. And even if you're not a gambler, it's worth just walking around and taking in the spectacle. And speaking of spectacles, you can't go to Vegas without seeing a show. Cirque du Soleil, magic shows, concerts, you name it, Vegas has it. And trust me, these aren't your average shows. And hey, if you're feeling lucky, hit the casino floor and try your hand at blackjack, poker, or slots. Just remember to set a budget and stick to it. What happens in Vegas might stay in Vegas, but your credit card bill will follow you home. All right, folks, it's time to get our history on because we're heading to Washington, D.C. This city is packed with monuments, museums, and enough historical significance to make your head spin. First up, the National Mall. This 2-mile-long park is home to some of the most iconic landmarks in America, including the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and the World War II Memorial. It's a great place to take a stroll, reflect on history, and maybe snap a few selfies with some very important statues. And speaking of museums, DC has some of the best in the world. The Smithsonian museums are a must-see, and the best part, they're free. From the National Air and Space Museum to the National Museum of Natural History, you could spend days exploring these incredible institutions. Oh, and wear comfortable shoes. You're going to be doing a lot of walking. Get ready to unleash your inner child because we're heading to Orlando, Florida, the theme park capital of the world. From Disney World to Universal Studios, this city is a non-stop adventure for kids and adults alike. First up, the Big Cheese Walt Disney World. This sprawling complex is home to 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and enough Disney magic to make even the most cynical adult crack a smile. Just be prepared for crowds, long lines, and the occasional meltdown from both kids and adults. But Orlando is more than just Disney. Universal Studios is a must-visit for movie buffs, with attractions based on Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, and more. And hey, if you need a break from the theme parks, Orlando has plenty of other things to offer, like world-class golf courses, shopping malls, and restaurants. Next up, we're heading to the Big Easy, New Orleans, Louisiana. Get ready for jazz music, spicy food, and a culture so unique, you'll feel like you've stepped into another world. First things first, the French Quarter. This historic neighborhood is the heart and soul of New Orleans, with its colorful buildings, wrought iron balconies, and street performers on every corner. Take a stroll down Bourbon Street. Just watch out for the beads. Listen to some live jazz music and try a beignet, or 3. And speaking of food, New Orleans is a foodie's paradise. From gumbo to jambalaya, po' boys to muffulettas, your taste buds will be thanking you. And hey, if you're feeling adventurous, try a hurricane. This sweet and potent cocktail is a New Orleans staple. Oh, and come prepared to party. This city knows how to have a good time. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Hawaii, the land of sun, sand, and surf. Get ready to relax on pristine beaches, hike through lush rainforests, and experience a culture that's as warm and welcoming as the Pacific Ocean itself. First up, let's talk beaches. Hawaii has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, from the iconic Waikiki Beach on Oahu to the secluded shores of Kauai. Whether you want to surf, swim, sunbathe, or just relax and listen to the waves crash, you're sure to find your perfect spot. But Hawaii is more than just beaches. On the Big Island, you can witness the fiery fury of Volcanoes National Park, where active volcanoes create a landscape that's both beautiful and awe-inspiring. And on Kauai, you can hike the Napali Coast, a rugged coastline of cliffs, valleys, and hidden beaches that will take your breath away. Last but not least, we're heading to the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Get ready for world-class architecture, delicious food, and a city that's bursting with culture and energy. First up, let's talk architecture. Chicago is famous for its skyscrapers, and for good reason. Take a walk down Michigan Avenue, marvel at the John Hancock Center, or head up to the Skydeck at Willis Tower for stunning views of the city. And speaking of culture, Chicago has plenty to offer. Visit the Art Institute of Chicago, catch a show in the theater district, or explore the city's many neighborhoods, each with its own unique flavor. And of course, no trip to Chicago is complete without trying some of the city's famous deep dish pizza. Oh, and be prepared for the weather. It can be unpredictable to say the least. Well, folks, there you have it. Our whirlwind tour of the top 10 must-visit places in the USA. From the bright lights of New York City to the sunny shores of Hawaii, this country has something to offer everyone. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your next adventure today. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more travel tips and shenanigans, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, happy travels.